So I'm thinking if I get this card approval, I get, 10% off just for the application. No, motherfucker, I'm getting a 2-year hit on my inquiry. Fuck your 10%. Because I didn't have any money and I didn't understand how credit worked. So when I would get approved for a card, I looked at it as extra money, right? Remember growing up and we'd get like those Columbia House things in the mail with like CDs where you could get 12 CDs for 99 cents. Remember that shit? Did you ever do that? No. I did, and you got this. That's when I first started fucking up my credit at the ripe age of 9. It comes with an envelope already with the postage paid. Right? Crazy. I miss the 90s. So then I'd put it in and I'd mail it off, and then like who knows how many weeks later, I'm 9, I don't know, 10. And then fucking I'd get a pack in the mail with my name on it. It had 12 CDs in there. There goes fucking Tupac, Snoop, Dr. Dre, Juvenile, Mary, Little Kim, like shit that I should not be listening to. Shit that I should not be listening to. All came in the mail. The CDs comes with the bill, like rip the bottom off and pay us $109 and, write your check. I was like, no. And I did it like 2-3 times over. I had no intention of ever doing that. So I didn't really understand. So then, unfortunately, when I'm 17, 18, 19, and you know what, honestly, in my early 20s even too, at that big age, I was still getting credit cards, like just to see if I'd get approved. I'm just like, The worst I could do is say no. No, the worst thing you can do is put a fucking inquiry on your credit report for fucking, it's gonna hurt you for 2 years. So then if I did get approved, I was looking at it like extra money, whether if it was a store card, GameStop card, fucking Circuit City, right? I'm aging myself right now. They have a card called Community Bank. That card controls all the stores you basically see in the mall. That card is Community Bank. So if you go to like Sephora, GameStop, Victoria's Secret, Pink, whatever, and they're like, do you want to apply for a store card? You get your card, but it's through Community Bank. I see that 9 out of 10 credit reports have Community Bank because they control a lot of the store card. Like, that's the bank, and they suck. They are a pain in the ass. So unless you're really going to be responsible with these store cards, I don't recommend it because Community Bank, they fight back. They fight back. They have a paper trail. Before you sit there and think you're just going to go to GameStop, get approved for their store card, get all their perks and bonuses, buy the PS5, get the Grand Theft Auto, do all this, pay that shit back. Community Bank is not low-hanging fruit. It's not. It's going to take you you got to put some elbow grease when you're disputing a Community Bank. Mm-hmm. They're used to us going in there and being like, yeah, I want the card. And then like, you don't even make the first payment. That was me. I was like, yeah, I want the card. What I was thinking is, girl math, if I don't spend the money like from my debit card or cash or whatever, did I really spend it? So I'm thinking if I get this card approval, I get, 10% off just for the application. No, motherfucker, I'm getting a 2-year hit on my inquiry. If I get denied, fuck your 10%. You go to Target, whatever. Oh, would you like to apply for a store card? I'll give you 10% off just for applying. So you're like, yeah. The worst I could do is say no. No, motherfucker. The worst thing that's going to happen is, you're going to get that card and hopefully you'll be responsible. Or if you get denied, you're like, oh, shucks. But you got 10% off your current purchase right there, right? Because you overspent anyway at Target. But you saved 10%. Okay, but you fucked my credit up for 2 years because I got an inquiry, a denial that did not result in an open line of credit. You got to think about that shit. So say I get the card in April, okay? My first payment is due in May. Nope. Why would I do that, right? And back when I was younger, right? I'm thinking I'm never going to pay this. So May comes around. Now I'm 30 days late. Now I'm 31 days late. Boom. Late payment hits my credit report. You got to be 31 days late for that to happen, right? Boom. 31 days come. You got a late payment on your credit profile. 60 days comes, boom, another late payment. 90 days comes, boom, another late payment, right? Typically by then, anywhere between 90 and 180 days is when they will send it to collections and or charge it off, right? So now you're fucked. You might have, your games, your bra, your thing, whatever you bought at the mall, But your credit is fucked now for 7 years. Not 7 years of when you opened it. 7 years from the date of last activity. So let's go back to, I got the card in April. Like, it's April right now. So let's pretend I got the card in April, right? Didn't pay May, didn't pay June, didn't pay July, didn't pay August. Let's say it went to collections in August, right? Say they decided to charge it off as well. So now August, September time, they charged it off. That's another activity that's happening to that trade line, right? Say they're calling me. The whole new year happened, winter. So now I forgot about that card. It's like a year old. I opened it a year ago. So I'm just like, whatever. In 7 more years, it'll fall off. I got 6 left now. No, because if they call you and say you're like, okay, I'll either make a payment, fuck it, I'll pay it off. They're only offering, I had a $400 limit at Victoria's Secret, but they're offering to pay them $60. Activity. 7 years from that day, now it's going to fall off. So now you thought you had 6 years left, you just motherfucking did it again. And that's, people don't understand that with collection and charge-offs. It's the date of last activity, not the day you opened it. Because I thought like that at one point. I'm like, I opened this in 2017. This is about to fall off. No, because in 2019 or 2021, there was some type of activity on that profile, whether if it was my end or their end, it restarts the entire 7-year statute of limitations again. In my professional opinion, a charge-off is one of the worst things you can have on your credit report, other than, don't cook me, but like public record, right? Bankruptcy, child support, liens, anything that's like a public record, that's obviously going to be the worst. It affects you for like at least 10 years. Right? Collections, charge-offs, things like that are 7 years, but they take a humongous hit. They definitely both will affect your numerical score between 50 and 150 points each. So like if you're tapped out in your credit numerical scores on life support in the 300s, like you can't get worse than that. You're just at the bottom. And no matter what you do, however much you pay that utilization down, on-time payments, it's not going to help much like it should. Like building your credit is easy. You can literally build up your credit in a matter of months, right? If you have a strong credit profile, in months, you can go from 5, 6 to 7, 8. But if you have collection, more importantly, charge-offs, you can pay your shit on time and you can pay down the utilization. It's not really going to budge that numerical score like it should. That's why it's so important to get these things off. Get the charge off your credit profile. Get the collection off your credit profile, right? But be careful because like I just said, you can restart that statute of limitations. It's the date of last activity. It's not the date you opened it. I thought it was the date I opened it. I literally would count years from when I opened something because I would see it on my credit profile, like Comcast, Charter, whatever. I'm like, oh, what apartment did I move into? Oh, I moved into here in 2016, and that's when I opened it. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So in 2023, I'll be this old, and yeah, it'll just fall off then. Like, I literally did that. That's not what happens. It's not what happens. It just doesn't just fall off after 7 years. It's the date of last activity. So if I opened it then, I could have had activity in 2020. Now it's not going to fall off until 2026 or 7. So understanding like your credit and how everything affects you, the good and the bad, it's extremely important. It's critical. Because the second you think you understand something, here comes another collection's bad, charge-off's bad. But to dissect that even more, how bad is it affecting you? It might affect you more than it might affect me because my credit profile might be stronger than yours, right? I could have like 3 collections. You could have 1, but your 1 might be hurting you more because your file might be thinner. I might have a thicker file. Thicker file meaning a variety of accounts on there, a variety of trade lines. I might have a mortgage. I might have a car. I might have 3, 4, 5 credit cards. You might have just all credit cards and a car. But my file is stronger because I have a mortgage. Mortgages are what, $3,000, $4,000, $100,000. So my credit profile, my borrowing power might look stronger than yours. Your numerical score could even be better than mine. You could have a 690, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I could have a 702, a 702, a 708, and then a 744. But my credit profile could be stronger, right? I've seen people that have 620, right? 620, 650, 680, 690, 600s. And they're getting approved for shit over the people with the 700s. Why? Because their profile is stronger than the people with the 700s. The people with the 700s might have a very thin file. They might have had a couple of credit cards. They did the right thing the whole time. Low utilization, on-time payments. Great, your score is in the 700s. I've seen those same people get denied for vehicles and mortgages because their file is not strong. Their profile is thin, their profile is not strong. Versus I've seen people with the 6s get approved because their borrowing power is, it's wider, it's longer, pause. So then they're looking at it like, okay, this person can, depending on how they handle those trade lines, we can trust them or not to extend them a line of credit. It's like your numerical score, forget that right now. Forget it. Just like when you get on the scale, especially us women, and we're all bent out of shape about the number on the scale, but like a lot of us look good even, you know, like fuck out of here. You're never going to walk into a bank, a car dealership, a mortgage office or anything, and they're going to be like, oh, let's look at your Credit Karma. They're never going to do that. You can't go into the car dealership and be like, look at my Credit Karma. It just refreshed today. That's never going to happen. It's a Vantage score. They should use it. They should use Vantage scores, but they don't. They use FICO scores. FICO only updates once a month. Cut the shit. You're doing yourself a disservice by getting excited, and then you go to apply for something, and you're denied, and you don't know why. It's because Credit Karma bamboozled you. That's why. So cut the shit.